Your next promotion is supposed to be exciting, so it's confusing when the closer it gets, the more tension shows up instead. This has likely been in motion for a while. There's enough evidence to suggest more responsibility is well within reach, even if that hasn't fully translated into a steady internal experience. And as things start moving forward, something begins to shift. The work itself doesn't change much at first. What changes is where your attention goes. So part of it stays on the task. Another part starts tracking how the outcome of that task might be perceived, or how perfect everything looks, or how little room there is for error. And after the promotion comes through, there's a moment where the excitement lands, and not long after, your mind starts organizing around a new set of expectations and what it will take to maintain them. This is usually where the experience starts to feel different than expected. A change in role brings a change in your working environment. Visibility increases, and with it comes more opportunities for interpretation. So situations become less defined, which means more reliance on your own judgment, which other people are observing. And that shift gets registered quickly, and attention begins to reorganize itself around what might matter in this new context. So let's say something from earlier in the day resurfaces. It didn't stand out at the time, but now there's an urge to refine it. From there, your focus moves ahead, trying to map out situations before they happen, adjusting responses in advance. From the outside, this often reads as engagement, but on the inside, it can feel like your mind never fully steps away. There's also a physical component that tends to sit in the background. Nothing extreme, just a steady level of activation that doesn't completely drop off. It becomes noticeable in quieter moments, when your body still feels slightly braced or attention keeps circling back without a clear reason. Your mind keeps working in an attempt to create clarity. If enough variables can be accounted for ahead of time, then things should feel more manageable, right? The challenge is that roles with more responsibility usually come with more ambiguity, and your brain tries to fill in those gaps. So the process continues, and this is often why things can feel heavier right after something good happens. One of my clients was promoted into a higher leadership role earlier this year, and she'd already been doing the work at a high level, so the promotion felt like a natural next step. Along with it came a larger scope, more decisions, more oversight, and a clear expectation that she'd start delegating more to her team. So that's where things became more complicated. Every time she considered handing something off, there was hesitation. Not because she didn't trust her team, it was quite the opposite. It felt like she was adding pressure to people who already had full plates, people she valued. There was also a sense that she should be able to handle it herself since she had been the one doing it before. So instead of redistributing the workload, she kept most of it. She reviewed her team's work closely, made adjustments, and often reworked parts of it to make sure it met her standards. So her days got longer, not in an abrupt way, just gradually. She was still getting everything done, still showing up as competent and reliable, but the mental load kept building. And by the end of the day, her attention didn't fully switch off. There was always something that needed to be revisited, adjusted, or prepared for. And a few weeks in, she started waking up in the middle of the night, her mind already moving through tasks and conversations. At one point, she said, "I thought getting here would make me feel better. More compensation, recognition for my work ethic, more flexibility." Nothing explicit had gone wrong. From the outside, she was doing exactly what the role required. But internally, she was carrying the full weight of it on her own. And that's where the burnout started to build. Sure, the workload played a role, but that wasn't the whole picture. So here are 3 experiments I want you to try out this week. One is the fantasy versus reality split. So take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle so you have 2 columns, and at the top of the left side, write what I thought this would feel like. Now list a few things. I'll feel more confident. I'll feel less stressed. I won't second guess myself as much. And then on the right side, write what this actually adds. Then list what's real. More decisions, more people depending on me, more situations where I don't have a clear answer. Now look at both sides. They're not the same thing. One side is about how you hoped you'd feel. The other side is what it actually feels like. Then ask yourself one question. What was I hoping this promotion would give me? Pick one, keep it simple. If the answer is I wanted to feel more confident, don't wait for the job to create that. Do one small thing this week that helps you feel that way directly. Something outside of work. Not something impressive, not something productive, just something that gives you access to that feeling without tying it to your performance. Most people go straight back to trying to earn that feeling through work. Number 2 is the end of day, close the loop. So at the end of your workday, set a timer for 2 minutes. Open a blank note on your phone or a piece of paper and write down, what did I complete today? Be specific, even small things count. So for example, maybe you sent the proposal, ran the team meeting, responded to emails that you'd been avoiding. Then write down what's already planned for tomorrow and write down anything that already has a place. So for example, maybe you have a 10 a.m. meeting or you need to finish the draft of a report. And then finally, write what's still open that I can't finish today and just name it, don't solve it. So for example, I need feedback from my manager. I'm waiting on a client response. Now read all 3 lists once, then say either out loud or in your head, nothing else needs to be handled today. Close your laptop, don't add anything new after this point. Your brain keeps looping when it thinks something is unfinished, and this gives it a clear place to stop. And finally, there's the goalpost interruption. So pick one day this week, set a timer for about 5 minutes, and get out a piece of paper. And write this at the top. What went well this week? Now list 3 things. They can be small. So for example, I spoke up in a meeting. I followed through on something I usually avoid. I handled a stressful situation without overreacting. Now do this next part carefully. Look at your list and notice the first thought that comes up. It will usually sound like, oh, that wasn't a big deal, or I should have done more, or that doesn't really count. And write that thought down exactly as it shows up. Now respond to it with this sentence. I can want more and still give myself credit for what I've done. Read that response once. Don't add more, don't analyze it. Just let both things exist and be true on the page. Most people don't struggle with effort, they struggle with letting anything feel like it counts. So for a lot of high achievers, performance has been closely tied to how they experience themselves for a long time. And that connection doesn't disappear with a promotion. It tends to carry forward into the next level, just with more responsibility and higher expectations attached to it. Growth still matters. Advancement still matters. What starts to shift is how much those things are responsible for how you feel internally. It becomes possible to pursue the next level without relying on it to create a sense of stability or confidence. The goal is to have the pursuit stop coming from a place of fear and having to prove yourself, and have it start coming from a place of intention and confidence. Your role may change, but your relationship with yourself should stay the same no matter what. If this resonated, I'd be interested in what stood out for you. And if you want to go deeper into this, I break this down more in my book Unpacked, especially how these patterns form and how to start changing your relationship with them.